gentlemen, and welcome to our Toyota Coaster 1997 bus tour. I'll be showing you around. My name's Manuka and I'm your host. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Let's show you around.
So this is the entrance to our bus. It was mostly made out of recycled materials. So this was some recycled 2x4s which we found. We just cut them into little slivers, put a stain on it, put a varnish on it. Up here we've just got some little window frames. They were just made out of pallet wood. And then inside we found these in a scrapyard. They're just Coke bottle glass, which is yellow. They make a real nice light inside. We tried cutting them ourselves and we went through like 2 panes of glass and it was a headache. So we actually had a friend who's cut glass before and she cut them for us. We're very thankful. We made this cabinet slightly offset inwards just so that our door can shut and it doesn't touch the cabinet at all. Then down here we've got a little secret door and we just keep our dustpan in there just so it's tucked away. And then we'll come inside. We got this stick which we actually had in the garden. We just cut it to size and then put a varnish on it, and then we made this little base and just put a little wood burn on it, and we think it looks marvellous. So as you walk in, we've built this wall here which just acts as a little divider from the front and the back. So this was just pallet wood again, same thing. Up here we've just got our essentials, so we've got a wallet, a phone, just keeps everything a bit tidier. We've got a little picture. We made this little key hook, so we just put the car keys. They're not even there now, but we just put our car keys there. Up here we just got some essentials, so toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever. We got a little money jar, very hard to put money in, always goes out. And then here we've got a step, and you might be wondering, why do we have a step? Well, inside the step we've got our clothes, and it's pretty big storage. Stores a lot of clothes. And then the step acts as a step to go into the shower. So this shower door we made, it was the same style as the front. It was just little slithers. We bought these hinges online. We got a little moon. Looks a bit like the Shrek toilet. And then we'll open it up. And we got our shower in there. We've got a little mini bath. So we can have showers, have a bath, we can wash our clothes in it. And the shower runs off of a 12-volt pump, which we've just got in the front. And it's a 60-litre tank, which we just fill up from the front, pumps the water in, gives us a shower. And then we've got drainage that goes under the bus to some grey water tanks just at the back. And that is our shower. So up here we've got our AC units. So we've just got 2 little vents, and that just runs off of the car's AC, so it just pumps some cold air back through to the van. So this is our cooking area. We've got a Kamek cooker, it's a double burner. We actually had another cooker in before, but it was from Canada, so it wasn't AGA approved, which was very sad because it looked very beautiful. But we settled for this cooker. We got our gas box running from the back, and it runs all the way through to here. And this one seems to be doing great. We've got our little splashboard back here, and we got these tiles from a scrapyard. The guy apparently picked all these tiles off of a table, so we got them from there. They were pretty cheap. The desk itself is tallow wood. It's just a live edge. I routed out half the depth on the inside just to save a lot of weight. And then up here we've got our spice rack. So these were actually made from, in our previous house there was a beautiful little trim, I guess, and I just copied that and made these little shelves and put that in. Wood burned just what everything is, and they're just jars that unscrew, very easy to take out and use and just screw back in. Just underneath this is our light switch. So we got our main switch, which does all the lights down the centre. We got a second one, which is the shower light, and our third one is just a light shining on the front seats. Just underneath the kitchen unit, we've got a little shelf which we've just put sticks and cool things that we found. Shelves. Underneath that, we've got these two drawers. So, top one, we've just got my partner's sewing stuff. The bottom one, we've just got electrical goods, so cables, chargers, we've got a laptop. And then just down the side, we've got a little bin. We don't like having a big bin because obviously it would smell too much. So we've got a small bin just so we can change it a lot. And that's pretty much it. We've just got our little hand towels on the side. Our little, I don't even know what they're called, pot savers from burning the tops. So this area was actually pretty fiddly because we tried to add a lot of things into a tiny area. So we've obviously got the shower and we've got the bath. So the bath actually comes to around here, just underneath all of this. And then these shelves under are made to the exact size of the bath. So they're like that. So we just tried to cram in pretty much as we could. Just so it's the most functional and space saving. So this is our living area. This is the sofa that we made entirely from scratch. We made the arms, we made the backboard, we made the cushions. So basically I just made one of the arms and it was actually just going to go in that corner. We were going to leave this one open, but my partner wanted the second arm, so I made a second arm. And these arms took maybe 3 days each. I just used 2x8s which were recycled, cut all of the shapes out with a jigsaw and router, and then just carved in the little curls, wooden doweled the screws, and then the backboard just jigsawed, and then we put a little wood burn in the center, and then the cushions were just foam, and we wrapped a fabric around and just added these buttons. And then down here we've got a table that pulls out, so it just comes and sits on the sofa probably about this high. And then above the sofa we've got this window frame. This was a picture frame which we found from an art shop, and we just stained it, cut out the wall, and then we put a little dream catcher which we made just in the center with two little curtains. So the table is pretty easy to set up. It's just got some latches just on both sides. So you just unlatch it this side, unlatch it this side, and there's a latch at the bottom which it just sits on. So you just unclip that, and then it just pulls out like this. And then we've got two legs that are just stored inside. So they just go on the bottoms of the table here, and same thing on the other side. There we go, and flip the table over, and you've got a lovely little table for your sofa. Lovely to eat your food on, play a game of cards. So underneath the sofa we've actually got all of our power. So we've got our leisure battery which is 115 amp. We've got our 1500 watt inverter. We've got our solar controller, it's a MPPT. And we've got our fuse box. So pretty much, well, all of our power runs through here. So the lights, the water pumps, our fridge, and our power boards. And we've got two little USB ports just down here. So if you just want to sit down on the sofa and charge your phone, you can just chill out. On this side, we've got a plant pot. It was just a salt, I don't even know what it was, just, yeah, a salt container which you attach onto the wall. So we took the lid off, put some soil in, put a plant in, and we're going to train this plant to just go all the way around the archway in good time. This is our kitchen unit. Once again, it's tallow wood, a big live edge which we routed out the underneath just to take the weight off it, so it's not that heavy. We've got our sink just here, and we've got our tap, and we've got the switch for the tap just there. So that just turns on the water pump and pumps out our water. We've got our little chopping board just on this side, which is held in by some beads. and we just do all of our chopping here, so we can just chop our food, put it into the pan here, so it's pretty useful. It's pretty easy to move around. This whole unit we actually bought off Facebook Marketplace, and it was pretty bare, it was pretty beaten up, so we just sanded the whole thing back. We added a lot, so we added these doors, we added this shelf, we cut off the top just so it fits into the bus. We did some paintings just on the bottoms here, added some new handles, added this shelf, and yeah, just extended it back a little bit just so it all fits in the bus. We added these rounded compartments just on the sides, so they're just cut pallet wood with a plywood support piece, I guess, which is just screwed in, hinged in, and we just store some things in there. We've got a little plant at the top, which we made the same thing again. At the bottom, we've got a little latch just down here, and we just store just some spare things that we have. Just in this drawer, we've got our cutlery. So we just added these pieces of wood, dividing obviously the cutlery. On the second one, it was a drawer initially, but we just added some hinges to it and just made it a different shape, just so, because you obviously couldn't fit a drawer just at the top, so we just did this to save some space. We just keep some sponges and some spare bin bags, and then in here we just have our dry foods which we store, and then we've got our pots and pans just up the top. So everything is pretty much in the right area that we need it for. So at the back of this unit, we've got another shelf just here. It's tallow wood again. We just cut it out the piece that we had, and it's got some things that we've stored there, and it actually lifts up into a secret second shelf where you can store some more stuff, and it's just on a pulley system. So we've just got some wheels, and we put some rope which feeds all behind the counter and then comes through on this side, and you just pull it up and let it go. Next to our kitchen unit, we've got our fridge, which is very convenient. So we just made it tailored to the size, put a counter on top, so you can just put whatever you want on the fridge. It was actually initially just a bar fridge, which we found off Facebook Marketplace, and we sprayed the top and put a little vinyl on the top, just to make it look a bit more woodish and fit with the van, rather than just having a white fridge. And inside we've got no food, unfortunately, but I need to do a grocery shop. But that's our fridge. Underneath the fridge we just made this little compartment. We just put our little journals there and our pens, so they're just easy to grab. We put a little wood burn on the front of it, just a little butterfly, and we think that looks very lovely. So just up here we've got our cute little window. We just cut out all of the window frames. They were just cut out of recycled 2x4s. I routed out all the edges, made them like L brackets kind of, cut my 45s just on the corners, and then routed the edges. Just put a stain on it and varnished it, and then nailed them in. And I did that with all of the windows, apart from that one which we bought. So I did it with this window frame too, and then the ones in the bedrooms, which we'll show you in a sec. This is the pulley system which lifted up that little secret section. Up here we just got a couple of hooks, just for some bags, just some vegetables. This is our little banana hook, so we just put some bananas on there and they just hang down. We made this trim that just divides these two sections. That was once again 2x4. It was cut in two sections, so I did the bottom piece, jigsawed out the shape, and just routed the edges, and then did the same for the top, just rounded off the top and then put a stain on that. I cut it into the live edge. It was very fiddly, it wasn't fun, and that's that. This is just a plywood wall, which we painted because we didn't really like the look of plywood, so we just painted that. This is the ladder that leads up to the bedroom. It was made out of gum tree. We actually had a big gum tree in the garden which was pretty unsafe, so we got it cut down and we used the branches off of that to make this ladder. We just took off all the bark and then found the pieces which fit to make this ladder. We wooden dowed the screws just to hide them, and we put a little stain on it. We also made this little backboard for the ladder. That was just made out of a sheet of wood which we jigsawed out, carved in all of these little fancy pieces, put some stain on it, and then we made this archway which we think is pretty epic. It was made out of 2x4s, and we pretty much cut it all into little sections. We made a big cardboard stencil of the shape of the archway and then laid it out, and then pretty much just made a giant jigsaw of what we were going to do, and then we put the gum tree sticks inside it, so it kind of acts as a little shut off area. What's the word?
Divider.
Divider, that's the word. A little divider from the bedroom to this area, and we think it looks pretty epic. And then it leads into the bedroom. On either side of the ladder we've made these boxes, so they're just more storage. We put our clothes in them, so we've got these little curtains that hide them. And then I've got my clothes on this side, we've got our little son's clothes on this side. That one's got a little coat hanger at the top, so we've hung up his clothes. He's got more of his clothes at the bottom. On this side of the box we've got the light switch which leads into the bedroom. We've got our main light, which is just the center one, so it just turns on and off. And then the bottom light switch is the sconces just at the back, so that just turns them on and off. And we've actually got a dimmer for these, which lives in the battery box, so at night time, if we just want it to be real dark but still have a little bit of light in, we just turn it real dim, or if we want it to be bright, we turn it bright. So that's the lights for the bedroom. This is the bedroom area. At the back of the bedroom we built this bookshelf. It was made out of just a sheet of plywood which we jigsawed all out. We jigsawed out this sun and put a little wood burn on it. We just hold some books, some spare bedding, and we just got some little artificial plants just at the top. We got our lights just on the side. And then just above our bed we've got this big skylight which we cut out, put a what's the word, what is it called, plexiglass. We put a plexiglass sheet on top. We actually had to find a place online which did the sheet big enough. We couldn't find them in Bunnings, they were just slightly too small, so we found a place, we ordered it, and it got sent to us. We made these little curtains for the skylight. Basically, if it's a really hot day, we just keep these shut, just so it stops the sun from glaring in too much and making the room too hot. So we normally keep these shut during the day, and then at night time, say if it's pretty warm at night time, we can just open them up, and a lot of the heat from this room just leaves through the top. Another way that we keep the room pretty cool is we've just got a little 12-volt fan here, which has just got two little settings. It's got fast and it's got slow, but it's mostly on fast. Above this door we've got this nice little piece of wood which we found from an op shop. We just attached that. We made all the curtains ourselves, so we cut them, sewed them up. We've got two little curtains here, so we keep these ones. They also kind of work as a fly net during the day, if we want to keep the door open and get a breeze in. And then these are pretty thick, so they block out a lot of the sun, a lot of the light. So if we're camping, I don't know, maybe in a busy area or something, we'll keep them shut just so that no light comes out of the bus and people think we're in the bus when we're maybe not meant to be. So on this side of the bedroom, we've just wood burned some little snakes on both sides. They're matching, so they're just the same image flipped over. On this side, it actually lifts up into our underwear drawer and sock drawer. So it's pretty handy to have there when you're waking up in the morning. You're like, oh, where's my socks? Where's my underwear? It's right next to you, which is pretty handy. We also made these little trims in the bedroom. They go around the archway. They were just routed out and cut to the size. and it's just a nice little view looking down into the bus. We made the bed a levitating bed, so it's basically just attached to the walls, and we added some legs just on the end. That was for having a lot of storage underneath, so we raised the bed pretty high. That's why we got the ladder, and we can obviously still sit up in the bed. So yeah, we just pretty much tried to utilize as much space as possible. We've got so much space under the bed. Let's show you. So under the bed we pretty much store just the things that we don't want lying around. So we've got our toolboxes under there, spare pair of shoes, a spare doona, Ashley's sewing machine, a little pram, and we've got a water hose just under there, just so that we can connect it up to water, fill up our tanks, and it goes all the way to the end of the bus, and it's really high. So yeah, I don't believe you'd ever be able to fill it up. On the door, we just put a sheet of ply. We got this vinyl that we put on because it's pretty much just a sheet of steel, this door, so we couldn't really screw anything into it. The screws would just come out on the other side. We made this live edge table, which just unclips like this, and then these just hinge out, and it folds down like that. You can't hold a crazy amount of weight, but it'll definitely hold 2 glasses and a bottle of wine, or we do some cooking sometimes out here rather than cooking inside. Sometimes it's just a bit too hot, so it's nice to cook outside and just air out, and it just doesn't stink out the bus. So yeah, we like to do a bit of cooking here and have some fun. So we didn't do much with the outside, we pretty much just left it how it is, but we attached our roof racks, which holds 2 of our solar panels. They're 160 watt each, that's 320 watt. We had to get it engineer approved for having 3 seats, because it was initially just a full bus. Had 22 seats, I think I remember. So we had to take out the seats, silicone up the holes, and then just get the engineer certificate to sign it off as safe. On the roof, we put a couple of coats of liquid rubber on, and that's pretty much just to keep the heat out, because it's a big surface on the top and a lot of heat comes from the roof. So we just put quite a few coats on top. This is the cab area, so this is where we do the drive-in, the heavy kilometers. It's pretty much all just the same. We haven't changed much to it. We just added a rug, added some seat covers. On the roof, we did actually just take out the original lining and just board it up. These are our speakers, so we relocated them and made these little plywood rings with some little Hessian bags as the speaker pieces. We relocated the center light. This was originally just down the center of the bus, so we relocated, rewired it to here, so that just turns on and off by the dashboard. Just behind the driver's seat is our water tank for the shower. It's our 60-litre tank, and we've got our water pump just above it, so when we fill it up, we just fill it up straight through here. It's pretty easy to do, it's not that fiddly. We would just fold the seat down, open the door, fill it up, and then we've got these curtains that just divide the cab into the room. A lot of heat comes in through our cab, so we thought these curtains would be really good just to block out the heat. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you liked the bus, because we took a long time making it. We'll show you a couple of videos of what the bus looks like at night time with all the lights on. It looks pretty magical. We've also got an Instagram, which is Cottage Campers Australia, and we've got a little Etsy account which we've got in the bio of our channel, so check them out.